learning. This is the 9th year that the School of Education is celebrating the World Teachers' Day. Therefore, we must recognize those who started this trend 9 years ago. We acknowledge the support of the Vice Chancellor for giving us what we required to have this event as you see it today. The World Teachers' Day is celebrated with several activities and events worldwide, highlighting the significance of educators in our lives. Teachers deserve to be celebrated not just today, but every day because of their contribution to society. We all went through the hands of a teacher to get where we are. We all remember that one teacher who had a lasting impact in our lives. Today we take a moment to acknowledge the hard work and profound impact that the teacher has in shaping the future of nations. In the spirit of this year's theme, the teachers we need for the education we want, the global imperative to reverse teacher shortage, we will reflect on some of the challenges teachers are facing today and what needs to be done to attract, retain, and motivate teachers to reverse teacher shortage. I welcome you all to this special event. Let us join together in celebrating the remarkable role teachers play in shaping the next generation. I now wish to invite the Executive Dean, School of Education and Lifelong Learning, Professor Samson Ondigi, to give you his few remarks.
Before you, as we address this critical issue that resonates across nations and continents, the teacher we need for the education we want. The global imperative to reduce teacher shortage. It is important for us to acknowledge that our societies are built upon education where the role of the teacher cannot be underestimated. The teachers hold the key of our education system, and shortage of qualified teachers threatens our future. To address the shortage of teachers, we need to invest in them and recognize their contribution to society. We need to elevate teaching profession by offering teachers continuous professional development, promotion, and improved working conditions. It is only through this that we can be assured of retention of experienced teachers and attract new talents in the profession. Ladies and gentlemen, the 21st century classroom has complex challenges such that we do not just need more teachers, but excellent and passionate teachers who are well prepared and equipped to guide the learners through the ever-evolving needs of the students. You are all aware with me that the quality of our teacher is the foundation of a thriving society. Teachers shape the minds of the next generation and mold children into responsible and productive citizens. I call upon each one of us to envision the education we want as that fosters creativity, critical thinking, and global citizenship, and inclusivity among our learners. This cannot be realized without the teacher as the cornerstone, since they are the mentors of character, vision carriers, and guardians of knowledge. In conclusion, we need to embrace the power of technology and innovative teaching methods. Let us also provide teachers with the resources they need so that we can reach our learners despite their location. Investing in our educators is the only sure way for a better tomorrow. And thank you all. And I welcome you.
My name is Patricia Mushiri. I work for the Communications Authority of Kenya as an acting director in charge of public education and awareness. Chief guest, We are delighted to be invited here as an authority, and on behalf of the Acting Director General, Mr. Christopher Wambua, I bring you deep regards. We as an authority are happy to be associated with this great event, the World Teachers' Day. As an authority, we have various activities, initiatives under what we call the Child Online Protection Program, and we work immensely well with teachers, bodies such as KESHA, and we are always a participant or an exhibitor at the annual events. We've seen great benefits from our association with teachers, with your associations, and we look forward to great partnerships and collaboration in the future, because you all know, all of us here today are who we are because of the great work done by teachers. So I wish to thank you very much, sir, for inviting us here and for wishing the teacher fraternity a lovely World Teachers' Day. And we recognize, appreciate, and uphold the efforts of the Kenyan teachers. Thank you, and God bless you.
I had a presentation. I did not know the setup is different, but I will follow what the others have done. And so I'll speak in brief from Vision 2030. First of all, I want to salute all the teachers of this country and the teachers of the world, and say that I think teaching is the most noble cause that any person can be in. And we are all teachers in our own right, but there are those who have made a commitment that they will also be defined and described as teachers, meaning they have made it their core mandate to transfer what they know to others. So we salute you. Apologies that the Director General of Vision 2030 was not able to join us. We are glad, as Vision 2030, to partner with Kenyatta University on this very remarkable day to celebrate our teachers. At Vision 2030, we aim to make a transformation to this country, to give Kenya a global leverage so that we are able to compete. And we must say that the education sector, as one of the sectors in the social sector, has not been left behind. At Vision 2030, we do tracking of progress, and we have tracked progress of the education sector through the investments that have been done for the people of Kenya through education and training. We have several flagship projects, and I believe all teachers have participated in some, and we have data and record which we can share in case any person is doing research on the education and training sectors. We have flagships on universal secondary education. We all are aware that we have made strides in ensuring 100% transition to secondary education. We have also the technical and vocational education training, TVETs, infrastructure and equipment progress, and we all are aware that even the current government has really invested on TVETs to increase the number of people who are accessing higher education learning, even if they are not able to get into the universities. We also have the basic education competence-based curriculum, the CBC. You can see how our small children are able to communicate. We are able to see them present a poem, a shairi, and a song with candid confidence that some of us only gained after we finished high school. So we thank you, and as teachers we know that you have had to transit from the original teaching method to the new teaching methods. That also we have data, and we are tracking progress on the CBC. Again, we have the competence-based education and training, which has been integrated in the TVETs. And as well, it is to increase employability of our students so that in the shortage of white-collar jobs, then people can actually innovate and be able to create jobs on their own. Then we cannot forget standards. The Kenya National Qualification Framework ensures that standards are maintained for qualifications, and you know now that our qualifications are matching most of the global standards in terms of academics. You do not have to be told to go back to school if you go to the diaspora and start working somewhere, because our accreditations have been upgraded. Almost finally, we have the National Education Management Information System, where the NEMIS has come on board to ensure that we are able to track the number of students and number of people, including their personal details and how much they have been able to acquire and what level of education. So again, NEMIS was successfully implemented through schools, and you have not been left behind. The most noble, we have seen people presenting here with disabilities. We have come a long way as a country, and all of us can attest. There is a time when people with disabilities, the deaf, and those who cannot see, and those who cannot talk, could not present and could not be even seen. Families at home used to think that those are children who need not to be exposed, and therefore they were left behind. And in the interest of promoting the SDGs, right to all education, and the Vision 2030 direction, the National Psycho-Education Assessment and Placement Center has been a game changer. And so we salute all of you that are in this space. And I want to end there and say that we are happy to partner with Kenyatta University. We have a presidential directive on tree planting. Vision 2030 has opined that it is important to partner in the interest of promoting education and in the interest of promoting practices that are game-changing, that we need schools and universities to be part of changing the climate change threat. And in this regard, we are donating 2,000 trees, which our focus now is not to plant, but to grow. So we would request the VC to commit that the 2,000 trees that Vision 2030 is donating to this institution will grow. And if he's more generous, then he can also grant us a small portion, a plot of 50 by 100, where we can adopt a forest as Vision 2030, which will give us reason to continue partnering with Kenyatta University in the future. I thank you all, and I wish you a very happy and a memorable World Teachers' Day. Asanteni.
Kenyatta University, Professor Waseke Wanjuhi, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor, Academic, Madame Juliette Mourimi, the Directorate of Social and Political Pillars Vision 2030, Professor Samson Ondigi, Executive Dean School of Education and Lifelong Learning, Dr. Nelly Otube, Deputy Executive Dean School of Education and Lifelong Learning, all senior academic and administrative staff, lecturers and teachers, education development partners, distinguished guests and participants, organizers of this event, ladies and gentlemen and students. So my name is Sherazad Fidel, and I am representing the UNESCO Regional Office for Eastern Africa, based here in Nairobi. I am very pleased to be with you today and to join you in celebrating the World Teacher Day at the School of Education and Lifelong Learning here at Kenyatta University. The World Teacher Day is held annually, as you know, on 5th of October since 1994, and it has been celebrating here for the 9th year at the Kenyatta University. Just to give you some information historically, this day commemorates the anniversary of the adoption of what we call the 1966 ILO UNESCO recommendation concerning the status of teachers. This is a very important one because it sets the benchmarks regarding the rights and responsibilities of teachers and the standards for their initial preparation and further education, recruitment, employment, and teaching and learning conditions. But later on, in 1997, UNESCO has issued the recommendation for the status of higher education teaching personnel. And this completes the one that has been done in 1966. So today is a day to celebrate how teachers are transforming education, but also to reflect on the support they need to fully deploy their talent and vocation, and to rethink the way ahead for the profession globally. As you know, World Teacher Day is convened in partnership at the global level with the International Labour Organization, which we call ILO, UNICEF, and the Education International. This 2023 celebration for teachers. Being a teacher provides the unique opportunity to make a transformative and lasting impact on the lives of others, contributing to shaping sustainable futures and offering personal fulfillment. However, the world faces unprecedented global teacher shortage, which has been exacerbated by a decline in their working conditions and status. That's why the theme of this year is the teachers we need for the education we want, the global imperative to reverse the teacher shortage. So the 2023 celebrations aims to put the importance of stopping the decline in the number of teachers, and then starting to increase that number at the top of the global agenda. Through various activities, the World Teachers Day advocates for a dignified and valued teacher profession, and also to analyze the challenges and showcase inspiring practices to attract, retain, and motivate teachers and educators. It also examines the ways in which education systems, societies, communities, and families recognize, appreciate, and actively support teachers. I want to address personally teachers. Teachers, you are birders of dreams, from early care, like we have seen, until higher education where we are today. You are nurturer of potential. Only you can make blossom. There's so much talent that just need to be expressed. And of course, you are a guide on the path of knowledge. So now, as protocol observed, I would like to read to you the joint message of the Director General of UNESCO, Madame Azoulay, and also of the Director General of ILO, Dr. Ungbo, and also of UNICEF, Ms. Catherine Ressel, as well as the General Secretary of Education International, Mr. David Edwards. Because like I mentioned, this is a global event that is celebrated for these organizations. So here is the joint message. It starts with a Japanese proverb. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher. If we are to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, in particular the goal of achieving equitable and quality education, we need relevant and innovative pedagogies that prepare the learners of today for the transformation needed by society in a rapidly changing world. Teachers are one of the pillars on which this transformation depends. Research has repeatedly found that teachers are the single most important school-level variable for improving student outcomes. The centrality of teachers to the future of education was reaffirmed at the United Nations Transforming Education Summit last year, culminating in the establishment of a high-level panel on the teaching profession. This renewed focus on teachers is timely, as the world currently faces a severe global teacher shortage. Halfway to the Sustainable Development Goals, 44 million teachers still need to be recruited globally to meet universal primary and secondary education needs by 2030, with 15 million of those required in sub-Saharan Africa. According to the new release data from UNESCO and Teacher Task Force, rural, marginalized, and forcibly displaced communities often face the most chronic shortage of qualified teachers. The fundamental cause of this global shortage is the diminishing attractiveness of the teaching profession, which undermines the recruitment of the new teachers and produces high levels of attrition among those in service, especially within the first 3 to 5 years of entering the workforce. Teachers can typically expect to be paid less than if they entered other professions requiring similar levels of qualification, whilst also finding themselves increasingly overburdened by additional responsibilities and administrative tasks. Due to these working conditions, teaching is often viewed negatively as a profession of last resort, and teachers are not given the recognition and status that they deserve. The report from the International Commission on the Futures of Education, Reimagining Our Futures Together, a new social contract for education, recommends that the teaching profession be reimagined as a collaborative profession. To do so, it is essential to shift the way in which we perceive teachers. They should be valued as key agents in renewing the social contract for education. Teachers are lifelong learners, catalysts for change, creators and facilitators of knowledge, and mentors who engage students and support them in understanding the complex challenges and realities of our world today. On the World Teacher Day today, we celebrate teachers' critical role and the great importance of reversing the global teacher shortage. We call upon countries to ensure that teaching is transformed everywhere into a more attractive and valorized profession where teachers are valued, trusted, and adequately supported to meet the needs of every learners. Bold actions must be taken if we are to reverse the current decline and successfully increase teachers' numbers. So this is the end of a joint message, and I would like to thank you very much for your attention. Asanteni sana.
I want all of us to reflect, because I'm also a teacher, reflect on all those people that have passed through your hands, reflect on where they are, and just celebrate yourself. It is also a time of reflection because you look back and you identify things that you can do better from here on. Just take time to identify 5 things that you want to do better from here on. I now want to take this opportunity to invite the Vice Chancellor, Professor Paul K. Wainaina, to address this gathering. Thank you.
First of all, we need to recognize the people who have come here, particularly our visitors. I want to recognize the Mrs. Moshiri, who is there with us, Juliet Moremi, the Directorate of Social and Political Pillars, Vision 2030. We want also to recognize the Sharade Fado was just talked to us from UNESCO. We also want to recognize now the person who have been sent here by Michael Kuria, and that is Dr. Eunice Marete. We also want now to recognize all our members who have come, all the people who have actually entertained us, and this is really a very important day. So mine is to say we recognize this day because we know the kind of work that teachers do. But I know we have the theme of our this day is education we want, the global imperative to reverse the teacher shortage. But I want to say this, the issue of teachers has got 2 aspects. First of all, we want to talk about everybody being a teacher. Everybody is a teacher, but I think when we are recognizing today, we want to say it is when we look at teachers as professions. It is very, very important for us to understand the kind of work the teachers do. And I want to say, as we celebrate Kenyatta University, as we celebrate this day, I want to recognize the kind of work that Kenyatta University has really done. We are talking about professional teacher, and we know very well that Kenyatta University have teachers, prepares teachers from the kindergarten. You have seen the children who have been here, up to those who are doing their PhD. So as we celebrate this day, we need to acknowledge what Kenyatta University has done. Having teachers from all over, having teachers from all categories, and we can say, when you talk of teachers, Kenyatta University is always at the pinnacle. So for me, we want to celebrate this day by showing that as an institution, we have actually made a contribution to preparing teachers in all categories, and we are doing very well, and we hope that we will continue doing well in terms of trying to make sure that we improve. We are very happy to actually host this celebration, and I want to commend the School of Education for showing that we really value this day. I want to recognize the people who have actually planned. We have been celebrating this day, but today, despite the rains, I would say we had the biggest crowd celebrating this. I just hope that we'll be able to brave the rain and actually have the walk. For me, we can do all the speeches, but I was raring to go in terms of actually having the walk. So I just want to encourage, after the speeches, after all what we are going to say about this day, I would like us actually to actualize the day by taking the walk. I think for us, this is a blessing. We have been having this place needing rain, and actually even this morning I was saying we need some rain, and this rain just happens when we are planting the tree, which is going to make sure that what we have been talking about, climate change, we have actualized that, and we want to tell Ms. Moremi, is it Moremi? You asked for us to make sure that we commit ourselves as an institution that we are going to look after the 2 trees, and we want to say on behalf of Kenyatta University that these trees are going to grow, and these trees are going to reflect that actually we are committed to climate change and what we want this institution and this country to be. So take from me that we have that commitment. There was another commitment which I'm not sure that I'm ready to grant, that you need at least a plot somewhere in Kitui, not here, where you can plant more trees. So that one we can say we are going to lease. We are going to lease to you maybe a small portion, but you will not have a title. So I think for me, I want to make this very short. We are really privileged as a university to celebrate this occasion, and we want to again say Kenyatta University is a brand for teaching. When you go out there, if you are talking about professional teaching, Kenyatta University actually is leading the pack, and we shall continue. I want to thank all our professors. I want to thank all the teachers, including those who are looking after the small one. It is really amazing how we start. I was just thinking about the children you saw here, very innocent, and I was wishing that perhaps we need to go back to that situation where we are harmless, we love everybody, we are not even shy, and we give our all. The children give us everything that they had, and we really appreciate that. Again, I don't want to forget those with disabilities. It was really amazing to see how they communicated with us, and again, echo for the people who actually helped them. So with those few remarks, I want now to invite Dr. Marete.
The Deputy Vice Chancellors present, the Executive Dean and his Deputy in the School of Education and Lifelong Learning, the teacher educators present, the teachers, the lecturers from the various schools, our students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Is it morning or is afternoon? Good morning. On behalf of the CEO, Professor Mike Kuria, Commission for University Education, I am privileged to grace this occasion of the World Teachers' Day, being the annual celebration of the milestone that our global teachers have made. This year, we celebrate the teachers of the world under the theme, the teachers we need for the education we want, the global imperative to reverse the teacher shortage. In this theme, we not only celebrate and appreciate the work that the teachers are doing in raising generations, but also reflect on the challenges that lie ahead to address teachers' shortages across the globe. Ladies and gentlemen, according to the UNESCO's press release, there's a worrying trend in respect to teacher shortages. It is estimated that the world needs an additional 69 million teachers to reach universal basic education for all by 2030. Of these, about 24.4 million are needed in the primary schools and about 44.4 million in the secondary schools. The worst hit places are the sub-Saharan Africa and the Southern Asia. This means there is some difficult moments right ahead and some work to do to bridge this gap. It must be pointed out that to address the teacher shortages, addressing challenges that teachers face in their day-to-day activities is fundamental. The main challenges that we must address as a matter of urgency include the violence against teachers, the lack of minimum qualifications for those in the teaching profession in some of the countries. Furthermore, to bridge the gap of global teacher shortage, the use of ICT and related technologies in teaching and learning cannot be overemphasized. Teacher training institutions have a monumental role of training teachers that are capable of leveraging on technology and integrating it in the teaching profession. For example, the use of the video conferencing, other online platforms, the Zoom, the Teams, the Big Blue Button, amongst other hundreds of platforms that are ever emerging. This technological gap must be bridged through refresher courses of in-service training as a matter of urgency. In Kenya, it is the responsibility of a teacher training institution to prepare courses that meet the regulatory framework. It is worth noting that pedagogical skills are increasingly becoming necessary, maybe even mandatory given the changing times, technology-wise and demographics, which has completely transformed how people learn. In today's celebration, we also appreciate the initiatives Kenyatta University is taking to prepare the faculty members and the programs for the transition to the competency-based education. It is through our concerted efforts to work together to see the successful implementation of the CBE system at the higher education level. And as I conclude, the Commission for University Education will continue to work in partnership with you and all other universities to ensure delivery of quality university education and the release of globally competitive graduates in the market. Thank you. Wish you a very successful semester ahead and a happy Teachers' Day to you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's give a big hand to our chief guest. Wanafunzi tupige makofi. Walimu oye! Wanafunzi, walimu oye! Walimu oye!
Hey, excuse
Hakuna order. Hakuna vita hapa.
Mano,